I may go get me a picture and pull it out and look at it. Hey, man, I said, I walk away. I don't want to, it makes you not want to have nothing to do with it, but not really, you know what I mean? I said, boy, they don't have no, it ain't no.
And they think the people just are just that stupid to just fall for that.
Some of them are, but hey, just think of it. It's a change in environment. Right. You got to remember, no matter what they're doing, if half of them white kids out there is real, that's enough. If there's half of them, right? If they have a certain coordinator to bring them all out, that's fine, because half of them, right? That's all, the numbers, just the law of large numbers. The numbers are so big, and what about the ones that stay home in their house? They want to watch TV. I don't want to go out, because I like niggers. They're okay with me, right? And then the biggest growing crowd, I think, in modern times is mixed race people, right? Remember, they used to be rare. You know, there was a time when niggas was actually black. I would have been a light nigga a long time ago. You could see them niggas in slavery. Now we brown, we're not, well, I could claim a corner of black, because I'm a little, but it ain't like blue black, right? Man, we lightening up so fast, it's a shame. And in recent years, that's the fastest growing group in America. And when you get to California, you really got a stew there. I mean, there's Hawaiians mixed with Mexicans, and Mexicans mixed with Negroes, Negroes mixed with white folks. And you have to sit and try to study. You know, I mean, from the old days, I wonder what mixture that child is. And you look at it, just for fun, see what their mixture is. See if you can guess. No, lips too big. They got a Negro behind, no. Right? And then they got Mexican feet. You could actually, you know, can you imagine? Them white folks, them old crackers is rolling in their grave, talking about mongrelization. Boy, they got mongrels now. Ain't nothing they can do about it. It's too late. They lost that battle. Tell the truth. They lost that battle. That's finished. So technically, it's not heavy a question of race. It's institutionalized racism. Because the people almost don't care. They almost don't care. And all they see on TV is everybody this, everybody that. They don't care. Right? They really don't. Some lunchrooms you might see all the whites over here, all of it. And then there's a whole crew all there in the middle. They don't care. Okay? So all of those things that were important back then, let me get back to our little bait. The people got to think big. They got to think big. The world is against us. But that's what keeps us on the road. We just keep on thinking, bump it. Bump y'all, I don't care. So this is an open appeal to sanity. It's an appeal to utopian values. If we got a right to think about what we want to think about, to work toward what we want to work, why not work toward the best? Right? Why not say, yeah, we want to, I don't want a copy of the lady. That's not a Monica Trump. Be best. You ever heard that? Be best. That's Miss Trump, the white lady. Yeah, be best. That's her little, be best. So I don't want to get too close. But that's fine. Be best. You know.
His wife?
His wife.
Oh, okay.
Not him. No.
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 I probably heard it, but yeah.
Well, the girl may not be too bad, because look, she stayed out of the White House 6 months, right? And somebody said she was pressing boss man to that we got a 10-year-old son, 11-year-old son. You act a fool all the time. I'm your third or fourth wife, so I want you to sign this here that says this happened. And he's the president, he had to sign it, so he signed it, and she came to that, you know. And then after a while, she had a shirt on, not a shirt, a coat that says, you could tell she cares. It says, I don't care. You remember that? She had to, when she went down to the Mexican border, his wife, she went down to the Mexican border, and she bought a jacket that says, I don't care on the back of it. And everybody was trying to think about, what does that mean? Does it mean she don't care, or she do care? But anyway, one thing about it, when you listen to her first speech, it was a carbon copy of the Negro lady's speech, right? Right. Everybody said, that's what's the name's speech. So she can't be too, like that, prejudiced, or, I mean, she might be, but don't make no difference. Whatever it is, she know Don, she's embarrassed to have him for a husband, because he can't keep his thing in his pants. He can't be doing nothing to nobody, because if you hook them girls up, they wouldn't tell on you. Right? Tell the truth. If you was really hooking them up. So Don, he getting his age on, he just, and that's it. So Don is, and that white lady, she said, Don, every time the news come on, you know how they got to pretend, like Hillary used to pretend like the dummy, her husband, wasn't a fool. And they got to sit there in front of everybody and play like nothing happened. You think they like that? That's just like them generals. You think they like they boys getting blown away, and then they gonna make a fool out of them? And then it is constitutionally, you know, they do have a constitution. And they're saying, Don, we can't do that. So guess what? When they go that way, they take a lot of people with them. And then you got to think, is it getting better for Don or worse? What about America? What about America? All this happy talk about the economy, it ain't happy. It ain't happy. They just got to go further in debt, as if they wasn't in debt enough. And they use their money to cut everybody else's throat. They say weaponize it. Well, guess what China and everybody else is going to do? Get their own currency, right? They're making people. I don't want to be a part of this organization. I don't want to help this. I don't want to do that. And as soon as they do that, China come right in and say, oh, yeah, we just love everybody. And, they wasn't going to give y'all no money. Well, we happen to have a few dollars, and we'll help. You know, World Health Organization and all that. And the East, he got out of the Asian trade center. Asian century? The man is stupid. The man is stupid. He just get out of the thing that everybody is saying. That's where it is. All the things show India is in Asia. Iran is in Asia. China is in Asia. Japan is in, you can't forget, and then the poor guys is getting their stuff together. Vietnam, what do you think Vietnam is? It's in Asia. Indochina, they used to call it. It's in Asia. Thailand, where they make all the little masks we got, they used to. Asia, right? And then, where's all the Muslim states? In Malaysia and Indonesia. Malaysia and Indonesia, 200 million Muslims in Indonesia and another 180 some million all in Asia. In Near Asia, or they got the Near East and the Far East. When you got Pakistan, Afghanistan, all them people, and then when they finish their wars, they're gonna have to rebuild their country. And it's gonna be new, with all the new stuff. New stuff. And guess who's gonna have old buildings? You ever look at the buildings in America compared to the ones in China? Good God Almighty. So boy, them buildings is old and raggedy. And the airports, they don't function. Here, they don't function. They don't function. It's just empire, you know, it's just the rise and fall and the decline of empire. That's all it, but it's more than that. Let me speed up. Rise above the president, above clickism, request global assistance. Well, we might as well request it. Of course, we do need a little help. No, we don't need a little help, we need big help. But so far, so good. So if y'all want to help, just, oh, by the way, they just closed my Muslim account. So temporarily, you have to send everything in my slave name, which we'll talk about later. I got here without a click. Oh yeah, this is important. Where we got, it's a miracle. Remember, we got where we are without a click. Everybody left. Can you imagine? You got to think about it now. Everybody packed up and went home, and we're still here. Where are they at? What are they doing? They just had an expiration date. They stayed till that was up. They said, it's time to go. We're still here. If they knew how much fun it was to be here, do you know how much fun it is to be able to fight boss man and everybody's scared of him? And after a while, you know, Abdul Malik had a name for me, the Teflon Imam. Everything bounced off. That's then. Can you imagine now when you done improved on psychological guerrilla warfare and they can't make you mad? You know, there's a time when boss man, he don't scare you, but he can make you mad. Man, stuck is doing this to me and doing that, and I'm mad. You still function properly and good. But it ain't like when you have fun. Everything, it gets hilarious. And so we're facing all cliques, Zionists, the Negroes, the Iranians, the Arabs, all of them. Because they got some of all these people working, and there's universal cliques, some of them. So we showing that it can be done. That's what our arrival means. It can be done. Okay. The global organized diversions. I'll wait a little while to explain this because it yeah, global organized diversions, that's right. And all these things are happening with no visible support, but we're still here. And I'm not going to explain that in depth, but that's a very important thing. Present rules, charters. I'll move toward a close. The present rules for today, the Constitution, charters, prevent our vision. We have to work within or without the restraint of law and order. In other words, we can't let the past imprison our future. What happened in the past, we got to go on. If anything is true, we got to shake this up and do, what do they call it before the New Deal? We need a real New Deal here. are comprehensive. And what we've been talking about is comprehensive. It's one for the recent present, the medium, and for the long range. So we don't want to be prisoners of history. Value of evolution without clicks. Man. Whatever you get into, you evolve over it. We have really had a lot to do with evolution. And remember, we said, and this is true, that the government then either ran out of stuff to do, or they don't want to do anything else because you evolve. You know, everything they do is going to kill you or you're going to evolve, be able to deal with it. So when they stop doing something, you have to assimilate. Remember we were talking about simulators? You have to assimilate. What would they do under these conditions? You do the whole variety, just like looking at things. You do surface, below the surface, and at least below that. Simulation. What would the FBI do under these conditions? What would the CIA, what would Homeland Security do? And you do them straight line, do them all straight line, then you mix them up. And you do that analysis. Then you just shake them up, put them in a thing, shake them up, do an analysis, don't hurt nothing, right? And then you practice 2, 3, 4 types of simulations. Simulations, regular simulations, like fly an airplane in the simulator, right? You simulate movement, you simulate the structure, simulate the world. What would they do under these circumstances? Whatever it is, it's like playing a good game of chess. You can't lose by playing it. Because every time you play, it extends your, they say nerve endings or something, I don't know, in your brain. In other words, you get smarter. But you get smarter playing the game than you do sitting on the bench. You sit on the bench, you get, pretty soon, you get a little chubby, you know what I mean? You lose it. So, hey man, I'm telling you. The other thing, we're going to give boss man, we giving him a run for his money, but he should have picked on somebody else. And I believe it's too late for him to hurt us physically. At least I ain't scared of him. If he do, if he just get up, I'm killing a nigga, at least I'll just, boop, and I'll be dead. Finish. People have plenty to research and to discuss. Because we got tons of it. Remember, can you imagine the DVDs and the CDs? And I got them from day one, all on cassette. You know what I mean? Hey, we're in the big time. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Some have been sent different places. I just hold on to these. Heck of it. Right? It's all over. They can't do anything. So anyway, the other thing, we always say have fun. No sense not having fun. You know, maybe, I think you have to train yourself for that a little, because boss man, in the beginning stages, he don't make things that much fun. If you're not used to it, in fact, it'd actually scare most people to death, I believe. Because he study you, find out what you like and dislike, and he scare you to death. Okay. I would talk about leaderless resistance, but we don't have time. But we'll mention structured resistance, companionship resistance, and just think about it, resistance. In other words, out of all of this talk, is it really possible? Or is this really happening? Just think about it. Is this what we've been talking about? It's really happening. It's actually happening. And living during the present is a big deal. When the people lived through the 60s, they didn't realize it till they was over. Then they watched TV, they said, this happened to us, I was there, I know that. But they wasn't tuned in on, we tuned in on what we're doing. Yeah, we're living, I mean, every day is a new day. So we'll never have to go watch TV and say, man, do it 2020, 2020 vision, because everybody have 2020 vision. Oprah got 2020 vision. She have a whole series of programs, everybody do, 2020 vision.
You know, earlier today, I watched something about the encampment in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And they mentioned, the police had mentioned that, yeah, we want to talk to the people.
Right.
But we don't know who to talk to because they're not saying who the leader is. So of course, you know, if you've been paying attention and even just, you know, hearing about leaderless resistance,
right.
You can kind of say, oh wow, okay, I can see what's going on. If that's what's going on,
right.
You can at least, you know, kind of get an idea of what you were talking about, even if that's the case. But it's still,
it might be the case because remember, all these people got computers and they just stay on them all the time. Right. And I'm sure everybody, if they in resistance activity, just type in resistance.
right.
Nonviolent resistance, this type of resistance.
Right.
And they're gonna run up, oh my goodness. And eventually, they incorporate some of those things. That's what somebody told me that about these demonstrations here. That's the reason they didn't have a structure, because they didn't have structured leadership.
Right.
That's why I talk about the companionship resistance. Companionship resistance, of course, is made up, but the companionship resistance is it's just what it say. We'll talk about it in detail on the next go-round. But companionship resistance is resistance that involves real companionship. And it has a protection that if it works, it works. If it don't work, it don't cause no harm, in other words. That's the period now to move where if it is a threat, the threat don't cause you no